Quiet on set. Picture is up. All right, roll sound.
Rolling.
Roll cameras.
Cam's rolling.
And 3, 2.
Hey everybody, what's going on? And welcome to Hank's Think Tank. I've got a nice guest in here today. It's another candidate for a political position, and I'm excited about it. It's Nelda Adkins, and she is running for the City of Roman Forest Council position number 2, correct?
Correct.
Great to have you in, Nelda. How are you doing today?
Thank you. I'm doing terrific.
Okay, great. Well, I guess we can kind of just jump right into it. Let's get started with talking about how you ended up in Roman Forest.
We moved to Roman Forest in 2015. We had lived in our previous neighborhood, North Houston, close to Spring area, for about 20 years. We loved where we lived. But at that time, two things. One, the housing market was really good, and so it was a good time to sell. But also the area was just growing. And in that particular area, we weren't real comfortable with some of the things and how it was growing. Huge apartment complexes,
right.
Things like that. So we, started looking to move further out. And Dave I'm not a house shopper. I said narrow it down to 3 and I'll go look. And he did. So he looked all over the area. He really liked Montgomery County. It's a good location with our kids, one in Conroe, one in Kingwood. And so we just ended up in Roman Forest. And we just love it there. It was just a really good move. We have always felt very safe there. It was good timing. And because of the growth from where we were moving, we wanted that smaller town, more rural, you know. And Roman Forest gave us that. And then, of course, once we moved to Roman Forest, we realized the Valley Ranch growth and all of that. We were thinking, oh no, we didn't move far enough out. But
I don't think there's far enough out anymore.
I don't think so either. That's and we really do love where we live, and Roman Forest still makes us feel like we're in the forest. And so
that's cool.
We really like it.
Yeah, what I like about Roman Forest is that the houses are far enough apart to where you still have some land.
Right.
And so you don't really feel like you can open your window and scratch your neighbor's house.
Right.
And knock on their wall or something. I've seen a lot of places that are like that.
I want to meet my neighbors, but I don't want to hear their arguments.
Yeah, I got you. I fully understand that. Okay, so, and you're already on a city council position, right? You're in position number 2 already.
That's correct.
How did that come about?
We had a council member right after the 21 election. We had a council member step down, so that seat was vacated. So in December, Dave and I had been living in Roman Forest for 7 years. Mm-hmm. And so we had regularly attended the council meetings. So we kind of had a good rapport with the people who attend, and which is a handful, unfortunately. Yeah. And the council members, the mayor, the police chief and stuff. So when the seat was open, and it was after the election and they needed to fill it, they approached and asked if I would consider being on the council. So at the time, it was just good timing. I had retired the year before. I was already looking for ways that I could maybe volunteer, in the community. I was, thinking of attending school board meetings, just to be able to support parents or support, the things that were going on.
Just be involved.
Affected the area where we are. So it just took it was good timing. And so I started serving. I guess I got appointed or sworn in at the end of December, or the end of December last year, 2021.
Okay, so you've been in about a year.
So I've been
10 months.
Yeah, about 9. Yeah, this almost 10 months.
And you already have to run again.
And I have to run again. It was a 2-year position that was vacated, and so I was appointed for the first year. So I'll go through the election here in November. And if I win,
you'll be good for a single year.
I'll be good for 1 year, and then have the opportunity to run for the regular 2-year term. So it'll be fine.
Well, hopefully you'll craft your signs and stuff to where you can use them again. That'd be the smart way to go.
No date.
Yeah, I can definitely understand that. Yeah. Okay, and then in your regular job, what did you do for a living before you retired?
I was the last 20 years. I was an office manager for a small petroleum service company. Mm-hmm. I've worked 40 years in the oil and gas industry. I had some jobs early on, good teachers that were tough, but they made me, I think, gave me a lot of my work ethic. And so the last 20 years, though, I worked for a small patrolling service. I said that, 2 owners. They traveled a lot.
Okay.
And I was pretty much it. I was the home base as far as keeping the office running, keeping customers happy, keeping projects, updated and stuff. So
Yeah, project management, books, things like
right,
that.
we did all the accounting and all
Wow.
so was it like, it's fun in a small office when you kind of get to do everything.
Yeah.
And so
And that lends a lot to your knowledge base to be able to take that to city council too.
I think
Because you've
so.
already got that.
Right. And so that's a very good foundation. And then one of the things that my husband and I had done some years back was facilitated the Dave Ramsey course, the Financial Peace University, that he has, which is a personal kind of financial management, for individuals, but where the same principles can be applied in, any type of business or
Right.
organization. It's the, not spending, not overspending.
There's such a big need for that these days, and most
Saving.
people don't even know. And
Right.
so where does that done
Well,
at?
we were facilitating at our church,
Okay.
Humble First Assembly of God. You can go to financialpeaceuniversity.com and find a location, but we highly recommend it for individuals. But I think just having that budgeting background and, being able to facilitate that course and understanding the need for having the savings accounts, the rainy day funds. As Dave Ramsey says, you have to have rainy day funds because I guarantee you it's going to rain, and
that's for
so
sure.
you got to have the emergency fund. And
Okay.
and I was very pleased that over the more recent years that Roman 40 City Council and the administrator have been able to generate that. So little by
yeah.
little they've been adding to that.
Yeah, you guys have really been thinking ahead.
Right, and so
that's
I was
good.
very pleased when I got on council to realize all of that. That those funds are there, and
Yeah, and all that knowledge just applied as well.
right. So
Wow.
that's good. Yeah. So so I do have that kind of background that
Okay.
can at least lean towards those things when it comes to buying expensive item, police cars, excavators. The new roof for that.
All the
The
stuff
building
that-
will
yeah.
need.
Right.
We can lean towards making sure we have the funds available.
Yeah, and
Plan
City
ahead
Hall
for
did
those
need a
funds.
new roof pretty bad.
So I know.
Yeah.
I think that's coming up.
Yeah. So I thought it was done. It hadn't been
Oh,
done
has it been?
yet?
Oh, maybe it has. I'm sorry.
Okay, yeah.
But I know they were doing some work up there, but I wasn't sure if it was completely done.
Yeah,
or
I don't
not.
know if it's completely done yet or not, but I know that they were working on it
Okay.
because it was pretty bad one time. I had gone up there to repair some cables or something, and I was like, wow, what happened? There's a pool up here.
Oh dear.
So, yeah.
That's before my time. I'll say that.
Yeah, it was a couple of years back. So, yeah, it's been quite a while. Okay, and are you from Houston or from Texas?
I'm born and raised in Texas. I was born in Port Arthur.
Mm-hmm.
My father was a Methodist minister for the Rio Grande Conference, Spanish-speaking Rio Grande Conference.
Mm-hmm.
And so we moved a lot growing up. But most of my adult life, I guess all of my adult life, I've been in the Montgomery County or North Houston,
Okay.
area. So,
So that's
but,
great.
yeah.
So you're really integrated. That's a good thing. Got kids?
We have 2.
Okay.
We have 2 adult kids. One son lives in Conroe. Family. They have 3 kids. So, and then my daughter lives in Kingwood. Her and her husband, and they have 4. So we have 7 grandkids. So
Wow. It's nice.
I know it's
you know,
really
especially
nice.
around the holidays. And now we're in October, so I mean the holidays are coming up.
Right,
And
and it's fun. We have from college age to the youngest one is about to turn 11. So it's
perfect.
It's a great arrangement. One of the things that we loved about our house in Roman Forest when we bought it, it was the younger kids all learned to swim in our pool, and we have the family gatherings and things there. So that's just another reason why we love, where we live and being able to do those things with our
That's
family.
awesome.
So
Okay, so you've been on council for about a year. Is there anything that you've been instrumental in assisting with and implementing in the city since you've taken the seat?
One of the first things I did on council, I was appointed in December 2021. In January 2022, we were able to attend the awards and recognition dinner for the police department.
Okay, yeah, I've been to that. It's a great event.
It's a great
Yeah.
event, and I just sat there and was just so proud that this was our chief, but in our police department, and the awards and the acknowledgments that they were getting. And then it was a really feel good, and that's why I always say I feel so safe when we live out, living
Right.
out here. But then as time, being on council and time went on and finding out that our police department were some of the lowest paid in the county, and that our turnover is we would get them and train them, and then the other departments would, recruit them away. And so this year we were able as a council to give the police department, Roman Forest PD, the highest raises that they've ever had. And so that moved us up, from being pretty low on the pay scale to where hopefully we can retain, some of these great officers that we have.
That's good.
Chief just does such an exceptional job managing his people, taking care of his people.
Oh, yeah.
And the finances that come in, for the police department.
Yeah,
so,
that guy wears a lot of hats.
He does.
And
he
does
really
them
does.
all right, too.
And so anyway, so that was that's a very good feel good, to know that we did that, and hopefully we can help retain some of these really good officers that we have.
Right. I was thinking about some of the stories that were told at the banquet. Mm-hmm. And I'm always impressed with, these guys are, you'd think that this kind of stuff wouldn't even happen anywhere near Roman Forest. They're saving lives.
Oh, yeah.
Especially during the flood and all that. I mean, I was like, wow, really, you guys did all that? And they did a lot.
Right.
So, yeah, they deserve to make good income.
They do.
And they're out in the streets and they're doing what they can do. So, yeah, they should make good money.
A side story, I have a good friend whose daughter is mid-20s. She's an EMT in the Houston. And she works all the shifts. She does everything. Well, this friend has a niece and who pulls groceries and stuff for HEB and things like that. And the niece is paid more than the EMT,
Really?
And that just made me so sad, that a lot of law enforcement, and first responders, I mean,
I'm surprised. I always thought their pay scale was pretty good.
Saving lives and doing things,
Putting their life
so
on the line.
it just depends, and I'm sure it depends on what department they're in and what group they're in and things like that. But when she told me that, and then I found out about our police department, I was like going, "Oh my gosh, this is so not good."
Wow.
But anyway, so that was.
And so that's done. You got those guys the raise they deserve.
And absolutely.
Well, that's awesome.
So, yeah.
That's a good thing.
It's a good thing. It's a good thing.
That's a great thing. And it's good that y'all, at least with your budget and everything, had the money to be able to do it too.
Right.
Because it's not always easy to find those kind of funds.
Again, a lot of that credit goes to Stephen, Chief Carlisle, for the way he manages the police resources as well.
He's awesome.
So he's good.
I think he's a Dave Ramsey graduate too.
I'm going to check on that.
I'm pretty sure he is.
I'm going to check on it.
Okay. And I know that you're heavily involved in the community and do a lot. And so are you involved in your church a lot? I guess so, with the whole Dave Ramsey thing.
Very much. We've been attending that church for over 25 years, Humble First Assembly.
Okay. Where are they at?
They are on 1960, 1960 East, not too far down. There's two big churches. We're the second big church.
Okay. And do they still have the Dave Ramsey course?
They do, but they, once COVID was implemented, they were able to do it online and through Zoom. And so as far as I know, another couple took the class over a few years ago, and so they were doing all the Zoom courses and all of that. I'm assuming that they're still there, but that's something I would have to check on.
Cool. But yeah, I think I'd like to get involved in that.
They're very good. It's
I've heard it's a great course.
But very well worth it.
Okay, so in the future, when you get elected, what would you like to see happen at Roman Forest that you think maybe you could help to implement?
One of the things is we have people that come that, everybody wants to see the columns at Roman Forest improved,
Yeah, I remember when there used to be fountains years ago.
Right,
yes. That's giving my age away probably, but I do recall those fountains
I was
that were
around
out
back
there.
then too, so I know. I remember the suds and the fountains overflowing.
Yeah, and hopefully that won't still be the case, but it'd be nice to convert them back to fountains again.
And then we've had some parents come in, wanting new playground equipment and things like that. Those are really high-end items, and what I'd really like to see is some volunteer programs that could do some fundraising. towards
Okay.
those things. I mean, managing the city resources and things, we'd like to see those things happen too, but it's not in the budget right now.
And being that, a lot of people use the park that don't live in Roman Forest.
True.
So
yeah.
since it's a community park, it would be a good idea to do some fundraising. That'd be awesome.
Right. And so I think there's ways, to investigate and see outside of just the city budget of ways to raise funds.
That's
to
a great
do
idea.
some improvements and
And that's
things
a
like
worthwhile
that.
cause.
So that would be a good thing
I like
to
that.
get into. So
Man, maybe you should have kept that one under your hat. That's a good one. Okay. Let's see what else I have here. Something. Okay, I want to throw this in. So, and I ask a lot of candidates this same question. Is there anything that you can spot that uniquely qualifies you to be a city council person?
Well,
Now, even though you already are, I understand, but do you think there's something in there that would just elevate you above the rest?
well, I would hope that would be a lot of the office manager experience and the financial piece background, being able to work on those things. But also, I mean, part of it is that we just really love where we live, and we really have liked we enjoy meeting people, and we love the community, and wanting to be involved and just be active.
Yeah, and you don't find that often, really. I
It's
mean,
good.
there are people that do show up on a regular basis, but it's really hard to find somebody who's willing to donate, because this isn't a paid deal.
Oh no, this
Yeah.
is all volunteer.
Yeah, it's
so-
volunteer. And
and,
donating your time like this and being involved and spending the time to actually work, that's pretty big.
Right. So it's but it's what we like to do, and we're in a position to do those things, so we have.
It's awesome.
So yeah, but that's.
Okay. Do you have any hobbies?
Yeah, actually, I do some of the crafting things. I scrapbooked years ago, but now I've gotten into sewing and quilting, and I really enjoy that.
Yeah.
So
it
that's
seems like
one of the
that'd be-
main things. We like walking. I mean, I love walking the neighborhood and a little bit of cycling and stuff. So
That's
but,
cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
try.
Great.
So
And so do you have a Facebook page or anything?
I have a Facebook page. It's Nelda Adkins, and then there's a hyphen, Roman Forest City Council.
Okay.
And so it's new,
Great.
But just put that up, and so we can
Okay.
do that.
And an email address if somebody wants to email you a question
I
or
can
something?
give you an email. Now, our email and the main phone number is located on the website for
Okay.
Roman Forest. And I can give you the email if
Yeah,
you'd
let's-
like.
let's go ahead and just call it out.
It's DN Adkins, our last name,
Mm-hmm.
DNADKINS @yahoo.com.
At yahoo.com. Fantastic. And they can always call the city of Roman Forest and leave a message for you, and I guess you'll get back.
They can leave it for the mayor or city council, or if they wanted to talk to a council member directly,
Okay.
they can leave a message there.
Okay. Now let's talk about voting and election day and stuff like that. So this is going to be in the general election, so it'll be in all the major voting locations, I would imagine. But you'll only be eligible to vote if you live in Roman Forest for this particular position, correct?
Yes.
Okay. When's voting day?
Well, the official voting day
Mm-hmm.
is November. Oh, I had it in my head. November 8th. I think.
November 8th.
Right.
Okay. Fantastic. Man, that's coming up quick, too.
Well, early voting.
Yeah. Do you know when early voting
Early
starts?
voting is October 24th to
Okay.
November 4th. And then the election day is November 8th.
Wow.
And if you're not registered to vote, you have till October 11th to
Okay.
register. You can do that online. And that's
So it's about 8 days. About 8
important.
days left to register.
right. But you can still
So,
do it. So
Yeah.
I think
Fantastic.
that would be great.
All right. Well, Nelda, I appreciate you coming in. This has been a good conversation, and I think you're highly qualified for this position. It's going to be an interesting race, and look forward to seeing how it comes out.
I'm looking forward to it too.
There you go.
So
Okay, guys, well, there you have it. Nelda Adkins. She's qualified, she's interested, she's involved, and she's already on city council. So you can always check her record and find out what's going on. But I would suggest either calling the city of Roman Forest if you've got a question, or going to her Facebook page and you can message her there and ask some questions if they weren't covered here in this, and find out a little bit about her. And you got to be an educated voter. You can't just vote for a name or a slogan. You got to know the people you're voting for. We can't control what's going on in Washington, but we can bring it back home and control what's going on locally. And it starts with school boards, city councils, and things like that. So you put the right people in those offices, and it'll grow and work out. I'm Hank Vatt. This is Hank's Think Tank, and we'll see you next time.